Hi, everybody. I'm Gwendolyn Sterk of Sterk Family Law, and I'm here today with my good friend, Doranita Tyler. Hi, Doranita.
Hey, Gwen.
How you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. I'm great. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. You know, with COVID, we've been out and not been able to see each other personally and missed a lot of events, but someday we'll get back, right?
We will.
Whatever that new normal might be. Right, just a journey. You've got that right. Well, you know, Doranita, it works with American Family Insurance, and we like to hear, you know, first of all, Doranita, how'd you get into the insurance industry? Tell us your story.
Wow, it's a long story, so let me make it short. I actually went to school to be a journalist, graduated from Columbia College, downtown Chicago in '89. And from there, I went to a radio station. So I was actually working in the radio industry, in the customer service industry. And I was trying desperately to get into the newsroom. But something about me with the president, his name was Chet Redpath. He saw something different and started pushing me into the sales department. And so from there, I worked in the sales, and I was trying to move forward in that department. But then I decided to get married and have children. And unfortunately, my marriage ended prematurely due to domestic violence. I left and moved back home with my parents. And from there, I was working with the Illinois State Chamber of Commerce. So really heavy into working with businesses, but then I was also working part-time with a State Farm agent. And as I worked with him, I really got to see how the insurance world really mirrors my heart, where it gives me an opportunity to work with people and to fulfill a need and explain insurance, because a lot of people don't understand it. And so working from him, I decided, man, I could do this for myself. And at the time, again, I was personally going through trying to recover from becoming a single mom, having to raise two toddlers on my own, living in my parents' basement. So I didn't have any money. I was broke, but I knew I wanted more. And so that opportunity didn't come with that company I was with. However, they introduced me to American Family. And I say American Family gave me an opportunity to live my dream. They really took a chance on me because, again, I had nothing. You know, I was going through, you know, just personally trying to grow and recover from the challenges, the wrong mistakes that I made in my life. But, you know, they gave me an opportunity to start this business. And what it helped me to see is that it, like I said, it mirrors my heart. I love to help. And this actually goes way back from working in my great aunt's record store. She had a small business on the south side of Chicago. And when I worked with my Aunt Frances, it was like she did more than sell records. She really made a difference. She impacted lives. She sold records, but she did so much more. And she was well known in the community. And I learned so much, you know, sitting in her store, looking out the window. So in a nutshell, that's how I got into the business. Well, and this year we celebrated 24 years.
Wow, the years roll by. You know, at American Family there, what types of insurance do you sell?
Well, we're a full service agency. So we sell, you know, the things people knock down your door for, the auto, we do homeowners insurance, we do business insurance. And also one of the most important is we do life insurance. But then we do have a brokerage arm. So there are things like bonds. We take care of bonds. We take care of home-based businesses. So we do have an avenue to help other interesting type businesses as well.
Very cool. Now, you know, a lot of people, you know, you've heard, or as a divorce attorney myself, they'll say, you know, I want a new insurance person. I'm getting a divorce. I'm starting a new life. And some people wonder, what should you be looking for when you're choosing somebody that's going to help and assist you get the insurance that you need? What would you tell that person?
Well, I would tell them, ask a couple of people to really understand how their relationship is with their agent. If they don't know their agent's name, you know, that is a problem. You know, they need to know who their agent is and whether that person is really invested in their best interest. So I would say referrals are probably the biggest thing, just asking people and kind of getting a poll for their relationship. But then what you're looking for is an agent who's not pushing their agenda, but really is listening to what's important to you and understanding the full picture of what your life is. Because with insurance, what's important that you understand that it's not just that you go in and you get the policy that you need, the set it and forget it concept. You can't do that with insurance, because as your life changes, your insurance would change too. So you want to make sure that you have an agent who takes time to listen in the beginning, but then it's regularly checking in to make sure that as your life changes, as you go from single to married to an empty nester to your senior years, your life has to change along with it. So making sure that that agent is engaged with you um, is important. It is important.
Yeah, because it's almost like going to a doctor. You go for checkups. You just don't go year one and then 10 years later, at least you shouldn't. Same thing that
Right? You
applies in
shouldn't.
the insurance world, correct?
Correct. It shouldn't. You really need to check in because things change. We had a situation with the life insurance policy, and I don't know why. Most people don't like to talk to insurance until they need it, until they need to use it, and at that point it's too late because if there's something that needed to be changed that wasn't, there's absolutely nothing you can do at that point. And we had a client who went through a divorce, and we didn't do we didn't do a review. People kind of stay away from doing reviews, but then after the divorce and the death, there were some challenges with the beneficiary. So you need to make sure your beneficiaries are current. You're paying all this money, and you want to make sure that when you need it, you can access it.
That's great information. Now, you told me this concept that a lot of people have a dream team of people that they work with, but they don't always incorporate an insurance person there. Tell us what your concept is there with a dream team, and why should an insurance representative be part of that?
Well, I think it's important whether you're starting, whether you're purchasing a new home, whether you're starting a business, you think about the key people. You need to sit down and talk with your attorney to help you to make sure that you have your documents in order, whether you want to be an LLC or incorporated, to understand which of those works for you. When you're you need the realtor when you're going to buying your home. You have a mortgage broker. So just as those key pieces, those are key people. I say it's a dream team, but the insurance needs to be an important part of that factor as well. Often I tell people, once you close on that home, most often you don't deal with the mortgage company anymore. Most often you don't deal with that real estate anymore, but you're going to have a relationship with that agent. And so it's important to not let that be the last thing that you think about. It needs to be factored in. It needs to be factored into the cost, because I find that a mortgage person will tell the client, well, your insurance shouldn't cost that much. Well, you do want to get the most competitive price, but you also want to make sure you're getting the best coverage too, because a home is the largest purchase you're going to make.
Right.
You want to make sure that when you do that, it's well protected. I'll find people will love to buy luxury cars. And when they go and decide which car they want to buy, they'll be sitting in a dealership and they'll call for the insurance, and they'll compromise on the insurance because they want this luxury car. You need to rethink it. It has to be a part of that factor.
No, that's really good advice for people. Really good. Now, Doranita, certainly you are so active in networking and, getting your business name out and yourself. I know that you're real active with Professional Women's Network. Can you tell us a little bit about how you integrate that networking into your business?
Yeah, well, with Professional Women's Network, I joined it for a couple of different reasons. So personally, I needed to grow and I needed to advance. As I mentioned, I came out of an abusive relationship. And for me, I prayed. I asked the Lord to tell me where to go, because I was at a point where I wasn't sure where I wanted to go. And I went to see a motivational speaker, Les Brown. And that night when I came home, I prayed and I started writing. And the Lord told me, I'm going to open the door. Because remember, I was broke. He said, I'm going to open this door and give you the business. But once I do, you have to give back. You have to be that voice to help people move forward. So then that means I had to become an inspirational speaker, because the Lord has blessed my business, 24 years, and we have seen great success by His grace. However, I couldn't stop there, and it wasn't enough. And so a few years back, I joined Professional Women's Network because they offered networking opportunities. They offered growth opportunities through a writers group. So actually, right now, I'm writing a book, because you always hear the term that you need a book in the back of the room. So I'm writing a book about my experience, how I got in it, how I got out, and it's a faith-based book. And then we recently started a speakers bureau, and I'm a part of it because I lack confidence, and I wanted to help me build my speaking skills. But what I also found in it was the networking portion, where it connected me to different people. So it connected me to the Crisis Center, which was an organization that helped me when I was going through my difficult time with my marriage. I didn't have to stay there, but I did do counseling. It also connected me to another group called Aglow International, which is a single moms group. And so this is one that I heavily support because it gives me an opportunity to work with single moms and share my story. And I've had a chance to speak a couple of times for the group. And there's this one mother in particular who I've just seen. It's just been a blessing to see how her life is just developed. You know, just like watching your baby grow. So it's been such a blessing. And then there's another organization that's near and dear to my heart is I Can Dream Center. And so the organizations that I picked to support, they are connected with me somehow. And I Can Dream Center is an organization for those. It helps people with special needs. And I had a brother, my oldest brother. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he was born in the 60s, and it was a talent. It was a struggle for him. And there's a unique feature in I Can Dream Center where they help the parents, because my mom in the 60s had it was a nightmare trying to help my brother to bring him forth. So I love what they do. So in addition to those organizations, I also I'm on the library board in my community. I'm involved in a library board, in our chamber, and in the police pension board. So I do participate. But again, all that I do, wherever I go, there's a connection. It's a desire to give back. I admire what you do, Gwen. I remember the first time I came into your office and I saw your resource center. That's what I wanted. I'm like, how do I create that? And so being a part of PWN gives me access to different resources as well, because it's important to me when I try to build strong relationships with my clients. I can't help them with everything, but I have people who can be an extension of me. And that's what I love, because I have people who will call and they'll ask me, you know, for different things. So this is kind of why I do what I do. It's a way to give back. And Mary, my aunt.
Yeah, no, it's very true, because it's part of it. It's, you know, you're one piece of the pie, we're one piece of the pie, but when we can give and share what other people have and the other people we know, it can help somebody really move forward in a positive way. And I understand Dr. Ford from I Can Dream also did one of these interviews with us, and we really appreciate what they do because they have such a strong heart. So I know you give back to those things that are really impactful for you and have had influence in your life. And you know, everybody listening and you yourself know that I believe that if you give back, you're going to get it 7 times back. And so these are the things that life is going to bring. So I think that's part of the piece. You know, it's not just about calling you for an insurance piece. It's about what else that you provide to a client. So when you're listening today and you need insurance or you need that advice, and you know, you can call Doranita, and if you don't use the services, but you get that information, but I hope you use her services. But more than that, she's going to give you that piece and also put those other puzzle pieces together to help and to utilize what we can do together. And I know that's what I appreciate about you. That's what I appreciate about the organizations that you're involved with. So we sure appreciate your time, Doranita. It's been great to see you and good to know. And you're such a strong advocate in the community. Now, your office is located where? And give out your information so somebody listening today might give you a call and say, hey, Doranita, it's time for my insurance checkup.
Hey, this is great, Gwen. Well, first, I just want to thank you, because I do love and I admire you dearly. And I love the model that you have and striving to build that same model. But we're located in Lynwood, Illinois, 2328 Glenwood Dyer Road, in the Little House. I call it my house of dreams because it's a little house that we purchased for little or nothing. And my husband just helped me to transform it into, it's transformed it so well, my staff, I have to kick them out. They love to stay, but I just love it. And when people walk through the door, they feel the presence. So I thank you. And again, of course, we want to be everyone's insurance agent, but we're not. You know, we're not for everyone. However, we will tell you, we'll be honest to let you know. If we can work with you, we will. If you have something, because what's important is to always grab your policies, bring them together. You need to review them because, again, your life changes, and you want to make sure that your insurance is keeping pace. Sometimes it doesn't always mean that you got to add more. Sometimes it's about scaling back. So you just need someone that's going to be honest with you.
Different pieces there. Well, you can reach out to Doranita also by her phone number is 708-474-2055. And we appreciate your time today and everything that you do for our community as well, Doranita. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. I appreciate all you do. All right. Bye-bye.